So we need the water, the salt. Show it here, the yeast. This is fresh yeast, okay? Nice masters. I know, thank you. Ah, you got your stuff ready, okay. So, first thing. I always forget where the camera is. The water. You see the water? Water, you see? Then you open the flour. If you are not completely idiot like me. I make my own beer, but I don't have any beer yeast at this time. So going to be using champagne yeast is the same. As long as it's fresh yeast. So you don't want to put too much flour inside. You just gotta put like a little bit, okay? I don't know why I'm looking at the microphone, but it's a little bit, right? You see? With the second camera, right? You see? Good. Then you add the salt. Should be like a little bit of gram of salt. I forgot how much, but you know what I mean. And then you mix with your hand. Do this so the yeast is not contaminated by the salt. You know what I mean? No, you don't know. It doesn't matter. If there are a little bit of, you see this thing is, it doesn't matter. Just keep it going, okay? You can break it later. It's no problem. Sergus, you just have to double the quantities, you know? It's not a single, but it's double. It's easy. Once the flour it's, you know, a little bit dissolved in the water, then you can grab the yeast. You're gonna make a Chinese food, I see. Yes. Can't you see I'm cooking meat? There should be 2-3 grams. 2-3 grams of yeast, fresh yeast, okay? If you want to put more, it doesn't matter. So as you can see, I'm not weighing the stuff because I don't give a shit. But you should do it. Okay? And what we do next is that you dissolve the yeast in the water, okay? Just you know, it's gonna dissolve immediately, so you don't need to do anything. Just, you know, just go around with the yeast. And you go in circles. Do you see? With the yeast. You see the yeast in my finger? You go in circles and you dissolve it. Dissolve that yeast. So as you can see, the yeast is completely dissolved. You can't see it, but trust me, it is dissolved. Okay? It is dissolved. So you want to make sure you don't leave any flour on the sides. That's terrible. Okay? And then you keep adding flour. And you mix slowly. You keep doing it. If you mix these, you see these balls again? It doesn't matter. Just keep mixing slowly. My wife wants to know when the pineapple comes in. Never, and you should divorce. You keep mixing, and you keep adding the flour. Okay? The setup is great. Yeah, I know it's great. Thank you. One of the biggest quality in Italy is that you're very humble. Very humble. Are you gonna add pears? No. Why would I add pears, Foxy Fable? In Italy we put pears only in Macedonia. And if you wanna say the tomato it's a fruit, you're right. Again, if your hands become like this, there's no problem. You can definitely wash your hands. You can. Not in the process, because otherwise you're an idiot, but did you lose a bet? No, my life is a lost bet. So, Goombas are gorgeous. Yeah, if you are Andrea Bocelli. Do you know Andrea Bocelli? Now we are almost ready to work on the table, I think. As you can see, it's a slow process, but it will pay off. So now, we can move on the table. You gotta put some flour on the table, you see? And you always have to work in the direction of the flour, okay? I don't wanna even know why are you touching your keyboard with those hands right now. So we will have to work the dough for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Do not put too much flour, otherwise the dough is gonna be too hard. So you see what am I doing here? Maybe no, I should explain. Come on the right. You put your hand on the right, and then you flip with the left hand. You see? I'm pushing with the thumb, and then I'm mixing with the other hand. So the right thumb, give me a second. The right arm pushes and the other one flips. You see? If you don't see, it's your problem. It is 6 a.m. where I am, so pizza is not good for me. I'll watch the VOD later though. It's always time for pizza. The wife wants to know where you learn to cook. Was for grandma. Also, she wants to know how do you know it's enough flour? Haha. You know when you take a cold shower? It's a feeling. Usually you have to check the temperature with the thermometer inside here. You know, put the thermometer and the thermometer is gonna say 24 Celsius. Usually, when it's ready. One of the most common tests is you put the dough on the table and you put a finger in it and it comes completely back on its own. It means it's ready. As you can see, it didn't come back all the way up, so it's not ready. Margherita is like when you buy underwear and the underwear keeps falling down without the elastic band, you know? Traditionally, the dough needs to be left for 24 hours, minimum 24 hours. But since I'm an asshole, I cheated and I made a dough 2 days ago. So my pizza is gonna be amazing, your pizza is gonna be meh, okay? For the 2 days, I'll show you later, kid. I'll show you later. Because a lot of people use refrigeration, which will put the yeast to sleep. So the yeast is still gonna get, you know, a little bit more mature, but it's gonna sleep. So I don't like it. And also you have to wait before you can cook the pizza if it was in the refrigerator, because you have to wait till it goes to room temperature. You know, the traditional pizzerias in Naples, they don't use machines. That's why a pizza can be even 40 euros. If it's good. Those are my mixing machines. Yes, they are. I used to mix people when I was young. Legs where the arms should be and noses where they never should be. I think ours is done. Did you do the finger thing? Did you put your finger in the... It doesn't break. If it breaks, you did something wrong. Okay? You see the wobbly floppily? Oh no, Jasper, no, it's not. Definitely not. It was a redeem for the community and they want me to talk like an idiot, so here I am. So what do we do now? That the dough is ready, you see? And putting the finger is coming back. Just like my ex. You need a damp cloth to put on top of the dough. You need a cloth to put it on top of the dough. And we gotta let it rest for 2 hours. Then I'll show you the next step. Give me a second. You put the cloth on top of the thing, first of all. And don't forget the flour, or it's gonna stick. Like the socks in your bedroom. It's gonna stick like that. And I forgot the knife. Porco. Anyway, mushrooms. So, whenever you're working with a knife in your household, you don't go around like this. Like a fucking Tom Berry. You know the Tom Berry? Yeah, you don't go around like this, open doors like this. You kill people. When you work with a knife, you always put it like this. Right next to you. So when you walk, you don't stab anyone, okay? Good. So when you're cooking mushrooms, you may want to remove the S of the mushroom. You see this little... What the fuck am I doing? This little piece right here. I usually cut it away. You say, why Dela? I don't know. But you do the same. Trust me. This table is a little bit too short, so I have to go down. I'm not gonna make another joke, but you got me. What if you trip, you stab yourself then? No, because it's on the side. So if you trip like an idiot, you can keep the knife like this. But then there is extra idiot people. And this is not idiot proof. It's just to avoid stabbing people walking like a fucking Tom Berry. When I came to Germany, I was like an idiot. Even more than now. Can you imagine that? And the first job I landed was in a Mexican restaurant kitchen. So I was an Italian in Germany, speaking English, working for Spanish people. There's a lot of people that will tell you, hold the knife like this, Dela. What the fuck are you doing, Dela, like this? Grab it like this. And you know what I say to these people? Say, shut the fuck up. I do prefer the fresh mushrooms without oil, without basil, without anything. I just cut the mushrooms and put them on pizza. They taste better. The problem is if you put too much, they have a lot of water, and the water ruins the pizza. Make a Hawaiian pizza with pineapple. I really like pineapple pizza. No, nobody likes pineapple pizza. Not even pineapple likes himself, you know? Except every morning I say, oh shit, I'm still a pineapple. I wanna die. And that's another thing I wanted to discuss today. Pineapple pizza was invented in Canada. So if you are from Canada, know that I'm coming for you. Okay? In 1962, pineapple pizza was invented in a restaurant called Panapoulos. Do you cook the mushroom before adding to pizza? No, I don't. No, I don't. You don't cook them. And that's another important thing, because a lot of people likes to make the tomato sauce. You don't have to cook the tomato sauce before you put it on the pizza. You don't. Okay? We're gonna make the sauce too. So give me a second, I'm thinking. So about the sauce. I'm using this tomaten passiert from Edeka. 500 grams. Yeah? Okay. Was ist passiert? Tomaten passiert. Yeah, come the Guineas. Time to get saucy. When I make my pizza, put a bowl of water in the oven to prevent the dough from becoming dry. Otherwise, a very dry pizza is not good. Like a soft pizza with mozzarella and basil, cheese and fresh mushrooms. So, Rogue, you don't have to put the water. All you need is, you know this. Wait a second. I'm gonna open it properly for once. Do not forget to work in a clean environment. So you have a flat thing, you know? You know the thing you use to make lasagna? You don't make lasagna. You know, you have to use a rectangular thing. You gotta use a rectangular thing. You put the pizza balls inside, far from each other, approximately 2-3 centimeters from each other, because you need to leave room to grow, otherwise they stick together, right? And you cover the thing with this. You cover it good, you close it. So what happens doing this is that it doesn't make the skin on the top, the dry skin on the top, right? Because it tastes like shit, and it looks like shit. You should use, I'm not gonna show it on camera because I'm not an idiot. I'm using the knife to open the tomaten passiert. I mean, you don't do it, you use scissors, okay? You use the scissors, it's safer, okay? I don't promote dangerous behavior in the kitchen here. Those Italian pizza usually have a thick base or a thin base. It has been a long time since it was less in Italy. So in Italy we have two kinds of pizzas. Neapolitan pizza. Wait a second, I need to go full Dela right now. We have the Neapolitan pizza and the pizza from Rome. There are two different ways of making pizza. So you can make the pizza from Rome is very thin with not a lot of crust, right? And they cook it a little bit more with olive oil in the dough. So it becomes crispier, right? In Napoli, the Neapolitan pizza is like not so big, with a lot of crust, but the crust inside is empty because of the levitation and the yeast. So if it's mature enough, it's gonna have a big in diameter crust, but inside is empty. So these are the two kinds of pizza in Italy, traditionally at least. And we are back. I want a pizza with pumpkin and carrots with a touch of ketchup. Do you also want to go to jail for like 2 weeks? Because the feeling is the same. But now let's touch the tomato in the bowl. So as I said earlier, you don't have to cook the tomato. This is bullshit. Whoever said you cook the tomato, it was probably Higer rolling joints with asbestos and stramonium. Right now I'm making pizza for me and me. Because I am lonely. So I don't need too much. Garrison Neapolitan is like the ice cream. If we were talking about ice cream, probably yes. So we do not cook the tomato sauce in Italy. We do not. We don't put onions, we don't put garlic, we don't put anything that is not tomato sauce, maybe olive oil, and in rare cases oregano. Rare cases. Why I say rare cases? What? Because the oregano in the sauce comes from la marinara. And the pizza marinara is a typical pizza that came from, you know, when the sailor came back home in Italy, the wives used to make this pizza, this marinara, and it was tomato sauce, olive oil, and oregano. But you don't have to use oregano if you don't like it. I do, so I'm gonna use it. Simple. Thank you so much for the ape train. Yes, Kisse. Thank you so much. Mamma mia, major share. So you put the tomato sauce. Not too much, better more than less, if you ask me. And this is plain tomato sauce, right? So we need a spoon for later and a fork to mix right now. So what you do is you put approximately, I don't know how much oregano in the sauce. You see it? The smell, the tomato, dude. A serious question, why is pizza made round if the pizza boxes are square? Because the factories producing the boxes use less resources when you make the boxes square. You don't have to make a new mold to make it round, that's why. I bet you were not expecting an actual answer, right? You can add the olive oil now, if you want, inside this thing. Or you can wait later and put it on top of the pizza. This is a typical Italian thing. We have bottles of water that you save for everything. You put oil inside, you put oil inside, and a lot of other things that I'm not gonna disclose because some are illegal. But that's typical Italian. So there's olive oil here, and I'm gonna use this olive oil later. So I usually put it in the sauce because I'm a lazy fuck. That's probably what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna put it in. Not too much. Not too much. Okay? And there you go. Also, don't forget the oil doesn't mix with the tomato, so you can move for 20 minutes and it's still gonna be on the top. Why don't you keep oil in the bottle we came in? That's a wonderful question, Kisse. Because true Italian people, they make their own olive oil. Because they have 5 or 6 generations of people with the field, with olive trees. And that's top-notch oil from Italy that they ship to us. Because every true Italian just uses homemade oil. We don't buy oil. I probably pissed right next to this tree that produce these olives. Okay? I don't know how much time has passed for the dough. Are you growing? Almost ready for high school. No, that's very typical in Italy. We have the olive plants. We go grab the olives. Real olives, don't make any sexual joke, and then we go to the frantoio. It's called frantoio. Il frantoio, and you mash the olives and you get the oil, your own oil. And you give a percentage to the guy that has the machine, and you take the rest, so you don't have to pay real money. That's how it works in Italy, especially south. So what do we need to do now? We have some topping. We made the sauce, and we're just waiting for this piece of shit dough to grow, because that's what you are, a piece of shit dough. So the traditional temperature, I had to write it down yesterday because you guys used stupid units to calculate the heat of the oven. So the perfect temperature will be 400 degrees inside the oven. The traditional pizza oven made out of stone that you use with the wood, it's 400 degrees. 400 degrees. But I doubt your oven in your house can reach the temperature, so you just have to double the time. If it's 2 minutes at 400, it's gonna be 4 minutes. No, it doesn't work like that, so you need to be careful. And 752 Fahrenheit if you calculate hamburger per bald eagle, but that's another thing. At the best oil ever. Yeah, olives are influenced by a lot of factors: the land, the soil, the weather. If you piss right next to the tree. But it's always better not to spend $9 fucking bucks for a bottle of a liter of oil, or maybe half a liter of oil, which is not real oil. It's just dirty water. For an Italian, that's dirty water, the one that you buy at the store. The virgin olive oil and non-virgin olive oil is that one is made with the first press of the olives, so it's higher quality, and the second one, it's a second press of the olives, so it's lower quality. That's the difference. When you say extra virgin, and that's the reason. Alright, if you want, guys, I'm just gonna speak regularly so we can have Is this a yeast-based dough? Yeah, it's made with fresh yeast. Flyer. It's beer yeast. You can use You can use also dry yeast, but it's not the same thing. If you want to see how I made the dough, you can just go back in the VOD when the stream is over and watch it. It's fine. Scaro, if making money was my main goal in Twitch, I'm failing. I'm telling you, dude. I mean, I want to have enough to pay the rent, but I'm definitely not a greedy piece of shit. So you guys are giving me more than I need to keep doing what I like doing. I said previously that I have 2 pizza balls made 2 days ago to show you the difference between a freshly made pizza and one that was resting for 2 days. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do now, guys, is I'm gonna bring this dough in the kitchen. I'm gonna put it on, I'm gonna probably remix it a little bit and bring it on the kitchen in the plastic foil, plastic wrap or whatever. And I'm gonna come back with the dough that I made a couple of days ago. So I'm gonna show you the difference, okay? Let me just take away this. Actually, I can't take it away because I have to slice a special sausage that I got from France because I want to try it on the pizza. Be right back. These are the balls that I made 2 days ago. I'm gonna leave it there for now. And this is the sausage that I got from France. Yes, your accent gets worse when you talk normally. Wow, thank you so much, Skada. Thank you so much. Where is this guy and where is Chef Mario? We decided to speak normally so I can actually, you know, make sense of what I'm saying. Wife says you should get your mama to cook with you. I don't speak with my parents, Skado. That would be really hard. And also, I am a better cook than my mother ever was. And I'm also very humble. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, a lot of people think that family in Italy is, you know, super important and blah, 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 blah. It depends. It depends on the situation. But the majority of the people I know, they have no contact whatsoever with the family because there are particular situations in Italy, especially on the south, and families often make different decisions that are gonna come and bite them back in the ass later in the years. And the justification, like the main justification, will be, yeah, but I did it for you, and the answer will be, I didn't ask you to do that. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't speak with my parents. Let's just say that I don't have like too many problems with them, but I don't want to have anything to do with them because we are too different from each other, you know? It's not that they are bad people. I mean, my father is an alcoholic piece of shit, but that's another thing. That's transcends being a parent. It's just like you're a piece of shit, but it doesn't have anything to do with parenting, right? So I just don't want to have anything to do with them, right? You gotta let the lady to come and help you. Yeah, the rat is like this in the bed. I'm sleeping. Does your girlfriend cook as well as you? No, definitely no. She doesn't know how to cook. She's the first one telling me that, so it's fine. So a lot of people like to put olive oil in the dough. That's a preference. You don't need to. You don't need to put the olive oil to prevent the dough from sticking to the tray or blah blah blah. This is enough. But if you add olive oil, it's gonna become crispier when you cook it. Okay, so it's just a preference, guys. So this was made 2 days ago, and as you can see, I put it in like in a wrap. Oh, ciao bello. So Slash is a proper pizza guy. He gave me tips for the stream and I called him. I think you can see the bubbles in the camera. Give me a sec. You see? He has a bunch of bubbles. That's the yeast that did his job a couple of days ago. When you put the pizza in the oven with this kind of dough, it's gonna be amazing, dude. It's gonna be like those pictures that you see at the at the TV shows and shit like that. So now something that will interest probably the majority of you. Not a lot of people has the stone for the pizza, right? So you put the stone in the oven, it makes this sound, and the pizza cooks evenly, in the bottom, so you can leave it like 400 degrees, like 2.5 minutes or something like that, and it cooks better because it has a plain surface below that cooks it evenly. So when you make the shape, it's important that you push the sides, basically. You see? No, maybe you don't see. Maybe you have to go a little bit on the right. But it looks nice. Ooh, Gabri. Coming from you is a compliment, Pepino. Baking paper, but be careful because there are different kinds of this shit. If you buy the one for sweets, it's gonna burn too fast, so you have to buy the specific one for it should have the fucking pizza on the top. They are different. There are different level of resistance to heat for this kind of paper, so you don't have to be afraid, because if you are afraid, then you're gonna fuck up, right? So if you're using paper, okay, you don't have the spatula, the big spatula, you know, you should be as fast as possible and drop it on the top, and then you put it back again. It doesn't matter if you ruin the shape a little bit, blah 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 blah, it doesn't matter. And by the way, in Italy, pizza doesn't look like a work of art, you know what I mean? I mean, it looks like a work of art because you make it so, but it doesn't have to be like perfect in every side, you know what I mean? So that's an American thing, having the pizza looking like, why don't you do it on the paper from the beginning? Because if you put flour on the paper below, it's gonna burn the flour in the oven and it's gonna smell like shit, and your pizza is gonna taste like shit. So you cannot do it directly on the paper, if you ask me. Imperfections are perfections, something like that. No, but in Italy we don't have this thing of the crust and the thing has to be even in every fucking place and blah 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 blah. We don't give two shits in Italy. As long as it tastes good, the randomness of the texture will give pizza, you know. It's not a fast food thing in Italy, guys. In Italy we don't have a, you know, we do have fast food pizza, but it's different than what you think, you know. Because fast food pizza in the rest of the world is like a lot of cheese, a lot of topping, and a lot of greasy oil and shit like that. In Italy it's 100% not like that. In Italy, you know, it's like a painting, let's say. It's like painting, and every pizza maker has his own, you know, traditional techniques or styles. Thank you Slash. No, but you gotta see, Gabri, we share the same name, and we went in high school together with Slash, by the way, so he knows. So what I'm gonna do now is go in and turn on the oven, because that's very important. The oven has to be hot. You don't put the pizza inside. You don't put the pizza inside when the oven is cold. It has to be max temperature, okay? Not above 400 Celsius, or in stupid units 752 Fahrenheit. But if it reaches like 250, 300 is good. So let me go and turn on the oven, and I'll be right back if I don't die in the way. Another important thing that you should always remember is take this shit out before you turn the oven on, because we're gonna use this to pick up the pizza, right? Okay? And unfortunately it's gonna get the shape of this fucking grill or whatever, because I don't have a stone. But if you have a stone, the problem doesn't, right? You just take the pizza from the paper, you know, you're watching down. Pizza from the paper, you put it on the stone, or without even, if you have to put it on the stone, you also need a spatula, because you can't take the stone out of the oven. It's gonna get colder, and then put the pizza on top and then put it back in, you know what I mean? Yeah, you need a spatula to take the pizza from the table. So a dry push like this, like zoop, and you put it on the stone. When it's cooking inside the oven, instead of picking up from the front, if you want to turn it, you know, if you want to move it around to cook it evenly, you pick it from the side. So you don't do this when it's already inside cooking, but you do this. It's yeah, like zoop, exactly. So I'm gonna leave this thing right here for now. I don't have space. Porca madonna. And we're gonna put the tomato sauce. So don't be scared if the first time you have some transparent spots, you know, in the pizza. It may you may see like spots that are a little bit more transparent than others. It's your first time, it's fine. Don't use a fucking roller. Use your hands to, you know, there are a bunch of videos on YouTube that demonstrate how to use your hands only. Keep trying. It's your first time making pizza, it doesn't matter. Nobody's judging you, maybe me. I am judging you a little bit, but not too much. So this is the red, so I'm gonna use only mushrooms, because she's you know, you put too much stuff on my pizza, then in my belly hurts and blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna put it like a lot of stuff. Delacators. We are going to let the dough rise until dinner time tonight. The rest, yes. Now, Scaro, okay. If you wait 2 hours, then you have to make the pizza balls. Okay, you have to cut the dough, make the balls. Okay, even proportion balls, and then you leave the bowl to rest if you want to leave the balls, if you want to leave the yeast to work properly more. If you leave the bowl full and you just work it again to make the balls, it's not going to be the same. So you have to make the balls prior to make the pizza, and you have to work the pizza shape on the single ball. Okay, so you wait another hour or so, you cut the things, you make the balls. I think, you know, you guys know how to make the balls for one pizza, and then you leave those to rest. But don't forget to use the plastic thingy, otherwise it's gonna get dry on the top in 2-3 hours. It's this fast, I'm not even kidding. So you take a spoonful of this fucking thing, you put it in the middle, in the center, and then you move around in circles, and you spread that shit, right? It doesn't. Don't put too much. Do not put too much. Jesus Almighty! I've seen pizzas that were like fucking tomato soups. You can stop at the border where the crust is, right? Of course, a professional is way faster than me, is using a bigger spoon, but you don't have to put a lot. Because keep in mind also the cheese and depending on what you put on top of your pizza are gonna lose water, like the mushrooms and shit like that. And you don't want a fucking lake on your pizza, so that's the quantity that you need. Gino da Campo. If my grandmother had wheels, she would have beat a bike. And let the balls rest, you know, it's wait for round 2. You need to let the balls rest for the pizza. No, Schero, like if you have the big dough ball, you need to slice it in, you know, in equal parts and make balls out of it. And every ball will be a pizza. You need to make the yeast work already in the ball shape, right? Because if you don't, then when you use the roller or whatever the fuck you use, the pizza is not gonna have a nice texture and nice bubbles, you know? It's just gonna be a flat dough and it's not the same thing. Exactly. After 2 hours, you give it a beat up again, Sergos, and then you slice. You weight it and you do separation. Or you make, you know. But that's exactly right, Slash. Then the microwave pizza will be made in the old apartment. Holy shit! Yes, I completely removed this memory. So in the old apartment, we did not have a oven. It was like a 40 square meters apartment when we moved to Germany. And we were making pizza in the microwave. You can make pizza in the microwave. It tastes like shit, but it's still, you know, a memory of what it was before. So some toppings you can put them immediately on top of the pizza. Okay. When you make the Neapolitan pizza, they usually add the mozzarella di bufala after. So they cook the pizza with the tomato sauce a little bit, and then they put the mozzarella on top. But they put also the oil. Because if you don't put the oil and there is the fucking tomato only, the pizza is gonna become as dry as your grandma's tits. Okay? If you're planning to put like toppings on the pizza, the cheese goes after the tomato sauce. All right, cheese is fine if you want regular cheese. If you want to use mozzarella, you slice it with your hand. That's the traditional way. They don't slice it with a knife. They just pull it by hand. And they put it on the pizza when the pizza is already cooked, okay? Since I'm an idiot, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I'm gonna do it, I don't know, maybe with mine I'm gonna do it, but I don't know if the rat likes it, so I'm just gonna use regular cheese. You can put tomato sauce and cheese and then the topping. You don't put the fucking toppings and then the cheese on top. Can you use bread yeast or does it taste like shit versus beer yeast? You can pretty much use whatever yeast you want, but I prefer the beer one. Like even dry yeast can be good, but it depends how long you leave it to rest, and that's the reason why a lot of pizzerias have different tastes pizzas, you know, even using the same recipe, because they use different yeast, and the yeast works for days and days. Usually there are some restaurants that leave the pizza for 2 days like I did, because it becomes softer, right? The yeast works, blah blah blah, and they're gonna taste much better than somebody that uses a dry yeast and it gives you the pizza the next day, right? There are some sort of yeast in Italy. It's called lievito madre, so mother yeast, translated. That is passed like generation by generation. So they have this fucking yeast in a jar. They put flour and they refresh it every month, basically. And there are yeast that have been living for 40 years now, or 100. So we have the classic mozzarella cheese, 45% fat, apparently, because in Germany they know how to treat themselves. And then we have a regular mozzarella. I'm not a fan of mozzarella di bufala, right? But there's an important thing to learn about mozzarella on pizza, and I think Slash can confirm. When you grab a mozzarella, I'm gonna show it here right next to the camera so you guys can see it better. Another thing with the knife, the fucking blade always away from you and at the border of the table, so you cannot slam it when you're doing something else. Be safe in the fucking kitchen. So mozzarellas, especially the bufala one in Italy, you see it, right? It's white on white, but you should be able to see it. It's a very wet kind of cheese. If you put it on the pizza like this, just like fucking this, it's gonna become a lake here. it's gonna make a fucking lake, especially if your oven is not hot enough. Okay, so one thing you can do is to dry the pizza a little, the mozzarella a little bit. So if you like take it apart like this, for example, in the traditional way. I don't know why the fuck they do it like this, but I'm not gonna judge people from Naples. They know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to pizza or stealing stuff. You just separate the mozzarella by hand. You see the texture of the mozzarella looks like a tree. That's important. That's important too. And what you do is take another piece of exactly, Slash. Exactly. That's right. So you can take another piece of paper and press it to remove a little bit of water. See, I don't know if it shows how wet it is. Or you can leave it to rest and it's gonna lose the water on its own. But if you are in a rush, you can do it like this. So since this one is the Reds, I'm gonna do it the way that I always do it. One thing that I see like very often is people putting all the fucking cheese in the middle. Okay, if you don't know what you're doing, just start from the sides. Don't put too much, you know. Start from the sides like this, and then you go in the middle. Usually when you start from the middle, you tend to put like a lot in the middle, and then the fucking sides are empty, and then blah 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 blah. That's pretty much it. You see, we have the enough on the sides. Let me move the mozzarella just a second so you can see. Right? We have enough on the sides, not too much. There are some spots that are, you know, a little bit red instead of white, but it's easily fixed if you think it's not enough. Not more. If you put, like, you can put more, but then you're gonna fucking you're eating a focaccia, dude. You're fucking eating a focaccia with something on top. You're not eating pizza. So, and by the way, the focaccia came before the pizza, and then it evolved in pizza in the 16th century in Naples. I'm actually curious because that's the first time that I let the dough rest for 2 days. So it's better if you turn on the oven like 20-30 minutes before. I know it's like we have an electric oven, but it's still pretty decent. So I'm gonna put the pizza in and I'm gonna come back. Young people have cell phones, their computer use YouTube, and still English sucks. Because the problem is in education, Kane. In Germany, the fucking school system works, and it's not elitist. You know what I mean? So they cannot be the best students in the world, but they're gonna come out of high school, and they're gonna have a future whatever they choose to do. In Germany, you have a diploma, you can do an Ausbildung and work in a pharmacy and get 3,000 per month. In Italy, if you don't have 3 fucking degrees, you can't even work for McDonald's, you know what I mean? So that's the difference. They have a different work ethic, and this reflects in people's behavior, way they approach you, way they talk to you, and so on and so on. If you are like useful for a country, if you produce, if you are an hard worker, and so on and so on, they respect you. If you speak German, they respect you even more if you're not German. So I remember they made me like kitchen manager in the old restaurant after 2 weeks, and they gave me the key to the store immediately. So you want to come here at night, you fix stuff for the next day, you can come. In Italy, this will never happen. They didn't know me, they didn't know who I was, they just saw me working. It doesn't matter in Italy. That's the kind of mindset they have in Germany. You know, if you can work and if you are useful for the society, for the business, they're gonna trust you. And that's something that you don't see in Italy. Is young people interested? That's also true, yeah. That's also true. Are you sure you're not from Italy, Kane? Because that's exactly the problem in Italy. In Italy, they think they don't need anything else but Italian. And when somebody comes from the outside in Italy, especially in Sardinia, these guys are invaders. They want to steal our resources. Our culture is important, blah, blah, blah. You have a strange view in Italy for this kind of stuff. I wish I had a stone oven. So the key for respect is German. No, but the attitude they have, Cizzo, towards, you know, workers or citizens is something that I never seen in the rest of, you know, my travels, let's say. I just casually finished making spaghetti bolognese. So you mean ragu with because I don't know what you mean by bolognese. You mean ragu? Slash definitely know Polish better than you. Yeah, he had 2 Polish girlfriends. Of course he learned the language to get laid. And there it is, my pizza. Hello, where is Dela? Nowhere and everywhere at the same time. Now for the most important part, I'm gonna be eating this stuff. Is dough ready? It looks pale. Ah, it's the white light of the razor cane. Eating in front of us that was not in the menu. That's the best part of the cooking stream. I'm gonna also show you how to eat pizza properly in the traditional way. So you cut it, usually in triangles. I wanna also show you how thin it is, the pizza. Because you American likes to do I mean, you Americans, you the rest of the world. So you flip it. Can you guys see it? Fuck, man. It's hot as fuck, but I wanna just show you the side of the pizza. You see? So in Italy you can flip it like this, then you push the thing inside and you bite it, right? But since it's hot as fuck, I'm not gonna do it now. I'm gonna wait a little bit. The crust is as soft as my butt. Trust me, it's very soft when I don't train. So yeah. I say no, where is your water? But where is your fucking water? I don't drink alcohol, guys. I don't drink alcohol. Okay, I'll give you something. I'll meet you in the middle, Clef and the others. If you have garlic sauce, you can dip the crust of the pizza. That's the only thing that I allow you to do, okay? How do you feel about other types of sauce on pizza? What do you mean? We have something called, I don't remember the fucking name in Italian, imagine in English. It's like pizza without tomato sauce. If you have like problems to digest the tomato, or you have, you know, a very weak stomach, I don't know the word in English, I'm sorry, you may want to get a pizza that has no tomato sauce, because tomato is heavy on, you know, kidneys and blah blah blah. That's true, Pinkness, and that's the main thing with Italy. You can see a lot of stuff around Italy, a lot, okay? Monuments, archaeological sites and everything. I can fucking, you know, archaeological, historical, relevant places and so on, but if you live there after 20 years, 25, you get kind of tired of seeing the same fucking stones, seeing the same fucking paintings and so on. Without saying that those things are shit, I'm just saying that there is more to see, and especially south of Italy is not really technologic. And not being technologic means that you don't have proper transportations, you don't have proper institutions, you don't have proper schools, and so on and so on. I don't know, I just like, sometimes I miss going to fish in the middle of the night. You know, I was able to get my fishing pole, go on my own and fish right 5 minutes from my house at the beach. And then on the other hand, I think, yeah, but you know, all my friends were gone, or I was living with my parents at the time, so I don't know, I don't have, like, I think the bad memories are more than the good ones. And for that reason, I don't give a shit anymore, you know what I mean? My pizza. Let's do it like this. I learned how to drive with manual, and I see why you would use an automatic car inside the city, because you have to stop every fucking 2 minutes at the traffic lights, right? A traffic light. But living in south of Italy, in the countryside, it takes the fun away, I promise you. It takes the fun away. Hello, Tev, I'm eating the French sausage. It's very good, Tev. I don't know, like, it smells like red wine, Tev, but I can't guess what else is in. There's no fat. There is no fat whatsoever. This is all meat. I don't even know how much this fucking thing costs, and I don't want to ask Kenge, but it's amazing, Tev. So when you go to Italy, 90% of the times you go to a restaurant, you can order something called antipasti. So you order a plate, they give you a plate with sliced dried sausages, ham, prosciutto, cheese, sliced from different kinds. Right now I'm 100% Italian, man. I'm eating like fucking... What's wrong with chorizo? It doesn't belong on pizza, fly. Another thing the German can do very, very, very good is pulled pork, pulled beef. They do it like in a strange... Kassler. Do you know Kassler? they do this thing in jars. They boil the meat so you can touch it with your finger and the meat is gonna, you know, disassemble. It's so good. The taste is so strong, man. I have anti-games. You fucking assholes have been gifting me anti-games for 2 months now. I have more anti-games on my Steam than regular games. Gnocchi. That sounds better than gnocchi anyway. Or one of my favorites is probably bruschetta. And you guys, you fuckers say bruschetta. 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 Everyone says, no, trust me, in Germany they don't schedule, and in America either. Now I know how it's pronounced. Yaki. Yaki. No gnocchi, yaki. So for example, not a lot of people know that the traditional recipe for a gnocchi includes that you do them with butter and what's his salbei? Sage. You know the plant, the spice? Sage I think it's called. And that's the traditional recipe. Salvia. I don't know in English, guys, I'm sorry, but because people are desperate, Kane. People are desperate. I've seen people just going out of high schools with bags. In Germany they do it also. I've seen people doing that. Like, and they have like a bag and they go around gathering, you know, cigarettes, butts. So they empty the butts and then they roll the cigarettes with it. It's depressing, man. Stuff like this is funny because I do it once in a while, you know? It's not every day that I drop with a costume on the camera. I actually quite pretty stoic when I'm playing on Showdown. A lot of people accuse me of being, you know, a cold-hearted bastard because I'm hyper-focused, because I don't, you know, I don't fuck around when I play. But I think that funny moments should exactly be that, funny moments. Because otherwise you're a clown, and clowns tend to, you know, to never be taken seriously, and that's not how I want to end up, you know. Dr. Disrespect is Dr. Disrespect, is a character. Everybody knows is fiction. It's fiction, and everybody knows it's fiction. But when you're pretending to be real, a real person, a real player, and you behave like that because you want to hype the little kids, I don't know, man. And imitation never go too far, you know. There is one Dr. Disrespect and there's a reason. Because people think that this guy just woke one day and wear the glasses. There's study behind it. Dr. Disrespect was making YouTube videos about Halo 3 when using Dr. Disrespect voice before there was even a character. The guy was experimenting. He studied to do that. To make fictional stuff look real, you need to study a lot. You need to know reality. When you want to be a good actor, or when you want to make parodies, you're gonna know the real deal, right? You have to be competent in what you are trying to parody, you know. So, but we hope everybody knows it's a fiction. Yeah, we know because we are grown-ups, you know. But little kids don't even think about it. But the subconscious, Kane, the colors, the red color of Dr. Disrespect is not random. Red is a very specific color for its layout, you know. It works with your brain. Animations. Why do you think slot machines are so successful in casinos? Because they blink, they spin, you know. There is a visual input on Doc's stream, and people tend to forget this kind of shit. They only think that this guy is an idiot making millions playing video games. There's so much more behind that it takes a lifetime to master. A lifetime. If you watch a ninja stream, like I watch the bigs because you learn a lot of stuff by listening to them. And I made the example of Instagram. The example of Instagram was Ninja was complaining live. He had 45,000 viewers. And he said live this: I don't post anything on Instagram anymore because the first comment for the algorithm are only insults. So I'm not feeling like posting on Instagram. So a person that is not focused will understand, okay, so Instagram is shit. Why would I post in Instagram if that's the result? A person like me got this from his sentence. Dela, you should use Instagram more because even if they talk shit, your content is gonna grab visibility and then good people are going to see it, you know? So it's a trade-off. So that's it. That's the only reason why I look at the big streamers. I like grasping this kind of information that it's maybe hidden. All right, guys, that was fun. That was fun. Let me clean up the place a little bit. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for all the support as usual. And good luck with your own pizzas. Tell me what you think on Discord, and I'll be waiting for your pictures in the Discord. I'm gonna have to clean up everything because this place is a fucking mess.